Hello students, welcome to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir, a temple for learning. In previous class we discussed about ASCII Helminthi's general features. Okay, and today's class I am going to teach you that is Ascaris information. Okay, so now this is a information about the life cycle of Ascaris student. So the life cycle of Ascaris having a different stages. I will show you, I will represent in the form of the flowchart student. So first of all you can see the adults is there now. Adults actually there are two types now. What are the? This one is a female and male is there now. So what is that? The female is releases the ova, male releases the sperms. Okay. So once the female and the males release the gametes, nothing but ova from the females and sperms from the male. So both are fused together and the egg is become fertilizer egg. The egg is become fertilizer egg. This egg is a fertilizer egg. It is come up with the with the host feces. Okay, host fecal matter now. So this is about the first step. Okay, and fertilizer egg is come up with the host fecal matter, and once come up with the host fecal matter in the outside, it starts. We can observe the first juvenile stage, that is called in the egg, that is we can observe the rhabdiform larva. We can observe now. Okay, rhabdiform larva is considered as the first mold. So this is a very important question now. So how rhabdiform larva are formed here? So here is when the fertilizer eggs are associated with the fecal matter to form the rhabdiform larva, it is considered as the first mold stage. Okay student, now it is further converted into second stage of the juvenile, that we represented as embryonated eggs. Okay, the first juvenile phase what we have seen, rhabdiform larva. This rhabdiform larva converted into embryonated egg, that we can observe in the second stage, juvenile stage. Next, this embryonated egg, it is swallowed by man with the food. For example, if any human beings are contaminated food or contaminated water, along with this contaminated water is containing about the made up of embryonated egg. So that can be swallowed by man. What further changes will happen now? You can see. So the embryonated egg is swallowed by man with the food. So that is what we observe now. The second stage juvenile free. Okay. The second stage is to be juvenile free, and it will be, what is that? The second stage juvenile bores through the intestinal wall and passes into the blood capillaries. So what you understand student? This second stage, juvenile stage, that is the embryonated egg, okay, that passes into the intestinal walls, and as well as from the intestinal walls it passes to blood capillaries, and from the blood capillaries it passes to the hepatic portal vein. Okay, hepatic portal vein, it is connecting it to the liver, and from the liver hepatic vein, from the hepatic vein to posterior vena cava, from the posterior vena cava to heart, and from the heart to pulmonary artery. This is for pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery. Okay, so this pulmonary artery, from this pulmonary artery passes to the lung capillaries to lung alveoli, and from the lung alveoli we can observe that is a third stage of the juvenile in the lung alveoli, that we call it as the second mold, and from this third stage of the juvenile stage in the lung alveoli, second mold, it is further converted into fourth stage of juvenile in the lung alveoli, that we represent third mold, and from this lung alveoli it passes to the bronchioles, it is a fourth stages of the juvenile, and finally it is entered into the bronchi, from the bronchi entered into the trachea is entered into the pharynx and esophagus, and from the stomach and passes to the intestine, fourth mold, and it develop into young worms and finally develop into adult one. So this is a very very important information about the life cycle of Ascaris in the human being, it is student. Okay, so this is a very important information student. So you need to concentrate about the what about the juvenile stages. How many juvenile stages we can observe? No, there are 4 juvenile stages we can observe. No, the first juvenile stage is represent rhabdiform larva. Second juvenile stage is represent embryonated egg. Third stage of juvenile stages we can observe in lung alveoli. Fourth stage of juvenile stage we can observe in the also it is a lung alveoli, and from this lung alveoli it passes into the bronchi and trachea, pharynx, and esophagus is nothing but a food pipe, and passes to the stomach, and again passes to the intestine, and finally convert into young worm. This young worm become adult one of again Ascaris. So again this adult one is again represents the what that forms the male and female, and again this process is to be continuity is going on. This adults again is this is a continuity life cycle observed in the Ascaris. Fine. So move to the next slide. See, this is about the Ascaris lumbricoids now. Actually Ascaris lumbricoids, it is a causes in the human being, it is a stomach discomfort. So how it is going on, you can see. The first diagram you can see, this is about the female Ascaris, and this is about the male Ascaris. As you know already that a male Ascaris is a very smaller size when compared to this one is female only. Now you can see this is we can observe under microscope adult in the small intestine. Now you can see the second one, the second part you can see unfertilized egg will not be undergo further development. Okay, so this is about the what we call now, this is a rhabdiform larva, and here is it is a fertilized egg. It is a embryonated form, and this one is a, see, this is a feces now. You can see the grass, and this is about the soil, and here we can represent the fecal matter. This fecal matter only or feces only, it is associated with the what is that, the rhabdiform larva, that is the first stage. Once association is made, it is converted into what is this one is called embryonated egg. Okay, so this embryonated egg, it is to be developed into, you can see embryonated egg with the L3 larva. L3 means juvenile 3 larval stage, and it is directly ingested by embryonated egg by human being. And further what changes will happen here, you can see the fifth one, it will be attacked to the small intestine, and from the small intestine it is passes to the hepatic renal vein, and it again passes into the what is that, in the lungs region. You can see the sixth one, you can represent the lungs only effect on. From this lungs it will be passes to the food pipe, esophagus, pharynx, and finally again become adult one. So this is about what is the diagrammatic representation of what is that Ascaris lumbricoids. And the seventh one, you can see student, the larvae are coughed up and swallowed and re-entered the gastrointestinal tract, and maturation proceeds in the small intestine only. So this is about a very very important point about Ascaris lumbricoids. It is simply causes the what is that, stomach discomfort. Stomach discomfort. Okay, so this is about the information about Ascaris lumbricoids. It causes stomach discomfort. The next important information is that about mature female Ascaris. Mature female Ascaris, what is that information? Per day, how many eggs are released here? That is nearly 2 lakhs eggs are released per day now. This is a very important point, student. Generally, this female Ascaris egg is made up of a lipid layer. Okay, we already discussed no lipid. There are 3 layers: outer layer, middle layer, and inner layer. Inner layer is made up of the what is that, esterified glycosides or lipifoid layer. So that's why it is a lipid layer is there. No, what is the purpose of this lipid layer? Importance it is. It is a highly, because of the presence of the lipid layer, it is a resistance to the effects of the acids and alkali of host. That's why eggs are remain alive for the more than 10 years or more. So this is a very important point, student. What is that? Here the female Ascaris eggs is made up of the lipid layer. Because of this lipid layer is highly resistant to effect of the acid and alkali, and that's why the eggs are remain alive for 10 years or more than 10 years now. So you can see this is about eggs of Ascaris fertilized. You can see this is a indication, the blue color line. You can see this line, the light blue color is, you can see that lipid layer now. So because of this layer only will protect more than 10 years now. So the next information about, and up to now we discussed about only Ascaris, and remaining ASCII element is also we are going to teach now. Okay, so what are that remaining ASCII elements? Examples. The first one is that Wuchereria bancroftae are also called, another one is that Wuchereria malai. Okay, here generally we are already seen in many cases, like some patients is that their lower limbs is become more swollen. The leg is look like a elephant. So that's why it is called as the elephantiasis. So sometimes this disorder is also known as the filariasis. So how you know? So how this disease is caused, due to what is the microorganism is involved here now, and what is the vector is involved here, and what is the main changes is happen in the lower limbs. So that is we are going to explain. So here you can see Wuchereria bancroftae and Wuchereria malai. It is also called as the filarial worm because of it causes the filariasis. That's why it's called filarial worm. And it is causes the chronic inflammation of the organ. Generally we have two type of diseases. What are they? First one is the acute, another one is that chronic. Acute means it is easily rectified. The disorder is easily rectified and easily rectified by the treatment, proper treatment and proper medicine. But the chronic disorders, we can observe it is a prolonged more than years and years ago, and more than years only. Okay, so it is a chronic inflammation of the organ. Okay, so usually where it is attacks, the Wuchereria bancroftae is usually attack to the usually lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs. That means legs. Okay, usually it is a cause, it is a effect to the lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs. You can see the picture here. So this is about the right leg. You can see more swollen condition we can observe now. Okay, so this is about the left leg. So here what is the lower limbs, it is at effect here. This disease is also called as what is that? Elephantiasis or filariasis, because of the leg is look like a elephant. That's why it is called the elephantiasis or filariasis. Here sometimes the genital organs are also affected. For example, you can see like the penis, or in case of the female reproductive organ or male reproductive organs also affected. For example, here this area also affected the what is that the Wuchereria bancroftae organism. Generally, one more important point, the last point is talking about how these pathogens are transmitted and how we get this pathogen in our body. This is a very important point, student. The pathogens are transmitted to a healthy person through the a bite by the female Culex mosquito vector. So here you can see what is that vector here. The female Culex mosquito, it is carries the Wuchereria bancroftae. It will be it is passes to our lower limbs of our legs, and finally what is it become this disorder condition will be coming now. Wuchereria bancroftae, it is a microfilaria. Okay, it is under microscope we can observe here, and there is having some specialized sheath is there. No, this is a sheath. Okay, now this is information about what is a student. This is information about Wuchereria bancroftae causes filariasis. Okay, the next slide is talking about another ASCII element is that is Encyclostoma. Encyclostoma is also called as a hookworm. Encyclostoma is also called as hookworm. So generally it is the most dangerous roundworms of the man. It is a very, very dangerous worms. Why? Because of we can see. It is an endoparasite in the small intestine of human being, and there is no host is required here. There is no host here. Its larva enter the human body from the moist soil by boring through a skin of the feet. For example, you can see the hookworm larvae under the skin. it passes here. You can see the foot is there, no, the foot only. You can see this is the example. The larval condition is the passes to the first of all through foot, and it is causes the encyclostomiasis. Encyclostomiasis, generally this is a most dangerous stomach discomfort disorder. No, it passes through because of hook larvae under the skin. It's also called the disorder is called as encyclostomiasis. Okay, this is also very very important. So where it is lived here? It is an endoparasite in the small intestine of human being. So this is about the another ASCII helminthus information, student. Next, another ASCII helminthus, that is called the Enterobius, also called the Oxyrus, also called as the pinworm. Okay, so this is about the pinworm. Generally it is mostly occurred in the cecum, okay, colon, vermiform appendix of human being. You can see this is about the this is a life cycle is only monogenetic, only one organism only, it is one host only we can observe, no, that is a human being. So now you can see this is a white color part is represents the pinworm. Okay, it is this area, this all area we can represent the what is that, this is a cecum only. So this is under microscope we can observe this type of the pinworm visualization. Okay, so this is what is a student, it is a mostly affected, it is also causes the stomach discomfort. It is a mostly found in the cecum, colon, vermiform appendix of human being, and it is a monogenetic. Monogenetic means only one host only require, no, only one host only required. Okay, so this is about the Enterobius or Oxyrus, the pinworm. Okay, next another worm is called the guinea worm, or also called the Dracunculus. Okay, Dracunculus or guinea worm. It is a digenetic parasite. Okay, digenetic parasite means you already know that. What is that? It requires two hosts. What is the primary host? That is a human being, and intermediate host is nothing but cyclops. It is also called as what is that? Water flea. Okay, very very important point, student, this one. Guinea pig worm is requiring the two hosts. One is the human being, another one is the water flea, also called the cyclops. So here generally this worm, it is occurred where? It is a subcutaneous tissues of the human being. And how it is infected? So the host comes first contact with the cold water, and female worm below the skin, and release the larva in the water. This parasite causes the what is that? Itching, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and eosinophila. Okay, eosinophila means it is a eosinophils, secretion of eosinophils. Okay, completely eradicated from the India. In the India, it is a complete, this disorder is a completely eradicated. So here, what is the symptoms you can see? Again, I'll show you with the help of the diagrammatic representation. Now I can see this is about the person represents the guinea worm disease. Now you can see this person is, you can see the right leg, it is present in the what is that, cold water. No, so this is actually what is that, there is a migration is going on here. No, the females migrate to the skin, release the larva into the water. No, okay, the female is release into the larva into the water. So this larva is are consumed by water flies. So what about this one is? This one is that cyclops. Cyclops. Cyclops, water flows. Now you can see this diagram. Now there is a this one. This part we will represent the what is that? There is a larval form. So the larval is consumed by a water flies, that is called the cyclops. Then it is a contaminated, human drinks the water contaminated with the infected water flies. Then finally what is that? The larva is mature to the worm and reproduce inside the human being. You can see human being is drinking this contaminated water, and finally there is a maturity is going on. So again this is a passes into the once the man is to be passes into the cold water, and female is actually lays the more larval form in the water, and those larval form is to be accepted by a water flies is called the cyclops, and that is contaminated in the water. That water we are consumed, and again this is a cyclic process is going on now. And how it is a treatment? It is a removal of the worm removal, wound cleansing, and another one is bandage is also required now, and controlled immersion should be required here now. So you can see this is about the bandage. There is a African person. Okay, this is African person of the leg. Okay, so there is a bandage is going on in this picture now for this guinea worm disease it is. Okay, so next we are talking about another worm, that is Trichuris worm, also called as whipworm. Trichuris worm, it is also found in the cecum, colon, vermiform appendix of human being. Especially it is mostly we can observe in the children when compared to the adult. So generally we can observe this type of disorder in only children when compared to adult one. So how this spreading of infection is going on? So infection spread through contaminated food and water, likewise the previous one example only. So infection passes to contaminated food and water. What are the major symptoms? It is abdominal pain, a stomach discomfort, a continuous diarrhea, anemia. Now you can see this diagram. The first diagram is talking about the whipworm is under microscope, and where it is affected here. No, you can see this is about the, you can see the circled one. You can see there is about the large intestine part. There is a numerous hair-like projection you can observe. No, that we can observe the whip infection. If you magnify this one, is that we can observe the whipworm or Trichuris. So Trichuris is also known as the whipworm infection. Fine. So this is another ASCII helminthes example, student. The next example is that Trichinella spiralis, are also called as Trichina worm. Trichinella spiralis are also called Trichina worm. It is also occurs in the voluntary muscles of the man and other mammals in the form of the coiled larva. So voluntary muscles, you can see legs and limbs, lower limbs and upper limbs, and stomach, abdominal part, etc. Okay, what is that? One, it is a infect to the human being. It causes the nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, fatigue, fever, and abdominal discomfort will be occurs now. So this is a diagrammatic. This is under microscope. We can observe that is Trichina worm. Trichina worm. Fine. So this is another importance of ASCII helminthes example, student. The next one is Loa loa. Okay, Loa loa is also called as the eye worm. Generally, it is a present in the subdermal connective tissues of the man and monkey. So generally, it is mostly this larva. This worm we can observe in the subcutaneous swelling mostly around the eye. Sometimes it is also produce the conjunctivitis. Conjunctivitis means that the white color part is become reddish or pinkish color now. You can see this is a surgical removal of this one is the Loa loa worm. Okay, so the Loa loa worm is also called as the eye worm. It is a generally affect to the eye only, around the eye. It produces more conjunctivitis in the eye. So students, so this is about the today's class. In the next class we are going to discuss the next phylum is that Annelida. Hope so you are doing well, and the previous exam and all these things you are doing well. So my wish to you, all of you, and please concentrate this recording and as well as the live lecture. Well, going on, the lecture is going on, you need to write some running notes. Okay, running notes is very important, student. Based on the running notes, I'm also giving to the important questions also I'm giving. So please concentrate the classes of the recording and as well as the live. Okay, so based on that also the questions also coming now. So I wish you all the best. Prepare well. Thank you, student.